Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to a very special edition of these off-season 2020 Zoom calls. I am Commissioner Sam Skibby of the SWBL here in St. Louis, Missouri, and I am pleased to be joined by 4 of the 5 members of the historic franchise has won their first franchise era championship, the SWBL Yankees, 2019 champions of the SWBL. Guys, thank you so much for joining us. Give a little shout out and wave to everybody there. All right.
Thanks,
So, the Yankees had a fantastic year last year again, and just barely missing out on not getting a wild card spot. They almost won the division from the Royals, and they both went 7-3, but the Royals won the division record against them, winning both games against the Yankees. So, you can talk about that first, Scott. If you beat the Royals in one game, then you guys would have had the division championship. But do you think getting the wild card kind of put a chip on your shoulder and then led you guys to ultimately being the first ever champion of playing 3 playoff games?
Yeah, I don't know if it necessarily put a chip on our shoulder. We were just really happy to be in the playoffs, and it's always good just to be there. And I think our chip was we wanted to win a championship and kind of get that monkey off our franchise's back. And so it's kind of like once you get in the playoffs, it's a new season, and whoever can get hot gets hot. And it was really fun that we got hot. So.
Yeah, and like I said, the first team ever in the franchise era to win 3 playoff games. It's never been done. Somebody coming from the wild card, especially being, a team that seemed to be, on a losing streak coming from that Royals loss and then going into it that same day and winning 3 more. So playing 4 games on Monday is always a tough for anybody, but you guys did well. And Sam, I'll move on to you. Playing a team 3 times in a season is going to be really helpful when you get to that 3rd time, especially when you lose the first 2 games against the Royals, and you guys ended up playing them again in the championship. So that showed you how dominant that division truly was, especially with the Expos in there too. And with that division, you guys saw the Royals pitch twice. You got to see Sam and Gus pitch. Myself, I should say. I shouldn't talk about myself in 3rd person like that. But myself and Gus pitch. And then you got me in the championship as well. And it was an opposite of a barn burner between Jackson and myself. It was one of the largest scoring championships in SWBL history. And were you getting a little nervous at the end when you guys – in the bottom of the last inning, only up by a couple, and Jackson, who's not on our call, and you guys rode him that entire game, despite giving up 15 plus runs, you rode him. And with 2 guys on and Gus Skibby up at the plate with 2 outs in the bottom of the inning, he hits a home run in that spot. It's a tie game, and I would be up next, and it could go to extras as well. So were you nervous in that spot? I know you don't play the field, Sam, but sitting there watching it from that angle, what were you thinking going through your head during that last inning?
Yeah, and that was going to be my comment, is that I was, I was a DH, so I wasn't out there. I was standing on the sideline, just clutching my jersey. I was super nervous, and I didn't have Kevin next to me to hold my hand, so I was even more nervous. And I was yelling at him. I was pacing the sidelines. This was an all-time high rush of adrenaline. But, Scott and I talked about it various times throughout the game. Got to go with your guy. Jackson's our guy. Never thought once about really pulling him. We said, Jackson got us here. We'll ride or die with Jackson. So that was ultimately what we did, and luckily it paid off. But, it could have gone either way.
Yeah, and it ended up being a closer game than it started, because you guys at one point were up by like 12 runs on the Royals, and it was a big comeback, and it got a little scary at the end. And as someone that was on the opposite side from you guys and being on the field and not hitting well the first couple innings, but then turning it on, we never thought we had a chance. But then at the end, it was a lot closer than I think many fans or anybody realized out there. And John, you had a front row seat. You are the cornerstone left fielder for this franchise. Ever since 2011, when you, Scott, and Sam won the championship together, the three of you. It was the last year of the non-franchise era. And you guys won that championship. So kind of you've bookend yourselves here from 2011 to 2019. And you guys had big expectations, and you still got – the Yankees have big expectations getting the #1 preseason ranking still. But you, John, will not be in attendance in 2020 due to your brother's wedding. And I know that it's heartbreaking for you, but I know family comes first. And, you know, the SWBL is all about the family, that family atmosphere. So having that family first mentality in it, we're really going to miss you. But, you know, going on such a high and then kind of being like, oh, all these changes with COVID, and then Memorial Day is gone. And me and you were talking about this earlier about how you got to kind of roll with the punches with this year. And unfortunately, it fell on Labor Day, which you cannot attend. So what's your reaction to that? And what do you want to say to your teammates before they get back out there this weekend?
Yeah, I appreciate you bringing that up and giving me the floor to touch on that, because I think this whole year, guys, Sam, directed towards you since you asked the question, it's been a year of change, right? It's been every day it feels like it's a new transition. Whether it's family life, work life, friendships, change is happening.
Yeah.
And, early on, I think most of us, right when we knew that, the weekend was changing from Memorial Day to Labor Day, we knew that this is going to be a problem for us, because the wedding was set for that day.
Yeah.
For that weekend. But immediately after that, I'd say my emotion, I was pretty upset.
Yeah.
It's that initial shock of, hey, I've had this weekend booked for the tournament for the past 10 years.
Yeah.
And now I don't get to experience it. But, I think the mantra of this whole year has just been finding contentment in the unknown of what this year is bringing. But with that being said, I think this goes to the Yankees, but also the whole league. I think we should all just be content and energized that the tournament's happening, that the board came together and figured out a way to put it on, because this weekend, this tournament, it's very significant and holds a lot of weight in people's hearts to bring them excitement and enjoyment for the year. So I tip my cap to everyone who's running the show over there, and just being able to put this together to bring a little joy for the people that may not be experiencing that day to day during this weird time we're in.
Yeah, for sure. Well said, John. I know that this is going to be a highlight of everybody's, social year pretty much. And there were times when we weren't thinking that this was ever going to happen. So finding a way that we could just play wiffle ball and be together. I know it'd be a lot different with no fans, no pool, there's no barbecue. There's all these things that go into this weekend that we'd love to have. But unfortunately, it's just going to be, and maybe fortunately we go back to our roots of just playing the game that we all started with and love. So, John, we will miss you. And I want to move to Kevin now. And Kevin, a little bit opposite here. In 2019, you had a great start to your season, and it seems like ever since you came back to the league after your time at Clemson, you have consistently been getting better in this league. And in summer league this past summer, you showed that you hit the ball just as hard as your brother. And I think it's going to be really good for the Yankees to have you back for a full season, especially with John gone, so you can kind of be that role and step up for your team. But last year, as many of us know, you had a prior engagement with the Stanley Cup champion, the Blues, and you could not be at playoffs last year. And it was a big bummer for your team. And I know you had mixed emotions. You really wanted to be there and be a part of that experience, but you also were really excited that the Yankees and your franchise did. And you still had a big part to play in that championship year last year. Even if you weren't at playoffs, you still had a big championship role to get them there. So this year, you're back for a full season. So what is your expectations, Kevin, for your team without John and with Jackson hitting full-time and you back for a full season? So what do you think is the expectation for the Yankees, and what do you think about the curse falling on you guys this year too?
Yeah, I mean,
I'll just quickly touch on how it feels to win a championship when you're not there. It kind of feels like in professional sports when there was a player who was traded midway through the season, but then the next year when the teams play each other, he gets a ring. It kind of feels a little bit like that, where you we're a part of the team, but you didn't get the champagne shower and the excitement at the end. So happy to have my name on the trophy, but definitely hoping that in the years to come, it will actually feel like I earned it.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, this upcoming season, I think John brought up some good points, and I just think everyone's a little bit excited to get together. Summer League was a lot of fun. I know personally, between Summer League and then us going up with the Pokeballs and playing in the Hometown Cup, there was a lot of wiffle reps that I think kind of helped me figure some things out. And so I'm excited. And I think as like a franchise, the Yankees are always just hoping to be in contention for a championship. And hopefully, you know, when the playoffs start, we put a good new season together and are able to have a fun run together.
Yeah.
Obviously everyone wants to win a championship. So we're hoping that we'll be in the conversation for that come Monday. And yeah, I mean, I don't remember what your last question was, though.
Well, I'll just kind of wrap it up for you there, Kevin. And you know what? The curse obviously falls on you guys.
Let me talk about that curse.
Okay.
I think like if there's ever a year to do it, why not be a weird year like this one? So, I think that's the way the Yankees are looking at it.
Well, it's a good attitude to have. So, and my attitude would be enjoy this trophy presentation that's about to happen, because it ain't gonna happen next year, guys, because the curse is on you.
Oh,
all right, boys and
I
girls.
can't wait to play them Braves. You know what I mean?
Ladies and gentlemen, now comes the time. I put on my commissioner hat again, and I am able to provide these guys with a little bit of joy. And we wish Jackson could have joined us today, but Jackson Crosley, the ace pitcher of the team. And Scott, before I get started, I will say this is a contract year for Jackson. Does that mean anything to the Yankees, to you, to Jackson? Like, does he know that? I mean, this is his contract year.
Yeah. Obviously, it means something to us because we love Jackson and we would love to have him come back. So I think John and Jackson these are contract years.
They are. They're both contract years.
Signed in the same year. Yeah.
So I want the Yanks to come back. I think Jackson and John, I think, feel the same. I think we really like being a team together.
Yeah.
It's really fun. And I think we like having that Yankee mantra, even though it hasn't really meant anything until last year. To his contract, I'm hoping to sign him again. I think, was it 3 years ago when you and Jackson were back up again, John?
I think it was 5.
Whenever the last time it was, that's when I was probably most worried. But I feel like we're pretty good right now. We give him a lot of leeway. Do whatever you want. Be whoever you want. But just come back. No, I'm talking about Jackson.
I was like, come on, Scotty.
Just come back for whip a ball weekend, whatever weekend it is. And that seems to work well. So.
Well, we are excited to see Jackson coming up this weekend, and excited to see you, Sam, coming back as well. And John, we will miss you, but we know that you'll be watching live streams whenever you can in between all the wedding festivities. So have fun this weekend for sure, and enjoy your brother. Congratulations to Austin for getting married. One of my soccer teammates, growing up at Parkway South. So scored our winning goal against Chaminade to advance to CBC.
He was the one that scored that goal?
He was the guy that scored and beat the number 1 team in the state, number 3 team in the country.
Matt Patterson crossed the ball halfway, about 50 yards, and he chested it and smoked it in. It was pretty sweet.
A moment I will never forget in my sports career.
Is that on the film somewhere, Sam?
I don't know. I don't personally.
We have it.
You do? Oh man.
Yeah, my dad burned like 30 copies.
It is amazing. That was a rush. I can kind of tell what you're talking about, Kevin, about that. You want that champagne shower, and that was kind of like our high school champagne shower.
Oh my gosh.
So wait, John, can we get one of those CDs for Sam as a little commissioner gift for this year?
Oh yeah, yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll get it pushed into the inbox pretty soon. Don't worry.
There we
All
go.
right, Sam,
Yeah.
Yankees love you. There's a high school memory DVD for
There
you.
we go. Well, guys, the Yankees have won the championship, and we are so thankful to have Trent Steffes kind of backing the SWBL, and he does a lot of great work for us. And one of the things that he does is he made these flags free of charge for us. And every year he takes the champion's flag and he puts a little bit of a SWBL trophy replica on each flag. So, guys, I'll show you that first. There is the new 2019 trophy on the Yankees flag, and I'm sure it will not be the last on here as well. So Yankees flag 2019, and Trent actually has been in talks, first time people hear this year, about making some new flags maybe coming up in the next couple of years, maybe a season 20 rebrand of the flags. So
right.
You guys will still see obviously the 2019, and I'm sure more years to come. And then what everybody looks forward to, boys and girls, is we have our trophy. The SWBL trophy has been sitting with me, and I brought it back from the Blur. And this will be back at the Blur coming up this weekend. Our season is just 2 days away, and then somebody in 6 days will be hoisting this thing up as the new or returning champions of the 2020 SWBL season 18. So guys, you go through, and we started off at the beginning, the first 12 years on the small plaques, and then we went to the big ones because we realized we wanted to get done with the first layer faster, because like the Stanley Cup, it's going to get bigger and bigger. So you guys will be on the backside in the middle of the front row, and I'll kind of put it here for you guys so you guys can kind of view it. And our plaque has come in the mail. And there it is, folks, the champions from 2019, season 17 champions, Sam Bakula, John Calloway, Jackson Crosley, Kevin Poley, and Scott Poley as well. Here comes the plastic coming off the sticky. I'll line it up as best as I can. Let me get a view here. Okay, here we go. Sorry you can't see this very well. I'm trying to make sure I get it right on there. And ladies and gentlemen, we have it here. The 2019 champion, season 17, the SWBL Yankees, is now on our trophy. We usually do the trophy presentation during opening ceremonies, and this year it will be virtual, obviously, with everybody on COVID-19 watch. So we had to do it virtually, but we are glad that this one can be shown to everybody before our season begins. Now, well, ladies and gentlemen, we do have 2 days, and make sure that you are watching out for a lot of things coming out the next 2 days as we get ready for opening day of the SWBL. We want to thank all of our sponsors, especially our division sponsors of Ketting Eye Center and Glendale Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram. Also, Reuben Brown for our philanthropy event this year, and we're going to be, instead of the K's for Buddies program, it'll be K's. We're going to strike out hunger this year, and everything will go to the Operation Food Search in St. Louis here, our food bank in St. Louis, to make sure that everybody from COVID that's being affected can get that food that they might need. So every strikeout will go towards that as well. And then we also want to thank Cardinal Blinds, who are our new press conference sponsor, and so many more that we are excited to get back on the Blur this weekend. Sam, anything else you want to say to the people out there? How does it make you feel?
I feel amazing. I can't wait to be back. I'd hitchhike back to St. Louis for this weekend if I had to. Can't wait.
Kevin, anything else to say?
All good.
John?
Hey, good luck, boys. Let it rip.
And Captain Scott Poley of the Yankees. How are you going to feel about this weekend? You guys ready?
We are ready, yes.
All right. For Jackson Crosley and all of the SWBL Yankees, I am Commissioner Sam Skibby. We will see you in a couple days. Congratulations again to the Yankees. And everybody else who's going to be champion this year. We'll find out. See you soon.
See you, Sam.